Are we even live? Give it a second. Welcome back, everybody, to another Sunday Market Outlook. I'm your host, Roy Dunia, coming in live. Joe Biden decided to finally step down. Elon Musk basically said it best, right? You can quote this in like a Mark Twain book. He said, "It's about time." Now, who's the runner-up candidate for the Democratic Party? We're looking at Kamala Harris, potential ticket. That's basically who Biden is endorsing to basically endorse the same exact policies as that administration, but bring a fresh face to it. Is that going to work better or worse? Now, let's be honest. Joe Biden couldn't string a sentence together. But let's also be honest. Neither can Kamala. Microsoft had a massive tech outage that grounded a ton of flights. We have a G20 conference in Brazil, one of the member nations of the BRICS, competitor to the dollar. Very shady. And of course, we have GDP reports and core PCE. PCE is basically the inflation index that the Fed is now using instead of CPI. It's a better inflation index. CPI is rigged in many ways. It's selective. It's not rigged. Let me watch my. It's selective and it changes too much. It's too variable. So whoever is in charge can basically take out certain things from the CPI calculation to make it look better at certain times. So let's go ahead and everyone's spending money on diapers and toothpaste, right? Let's go ahead and take those out of the basket and include cucumbers or some dumb shit. No one's buying cucumber. Everyone's buying diapers. Everyone's buying toothpaste. Everyone's buying toilet paper. Those are the things that should be included. And PCE is a much better measure of consumer spending than CPI. So we were just going through this with the VIP members, but there seems to be a bit of a tech slowdown and a big retracement incoming. I'm going to use a blank chart here on Pepperstone. Potential speaker at the summit. Oh, wait, quick housekeeping reminders before we start. Where are my manners? How rude of me. First, I'll give you guys a piece of value. The NASDAQ index is in a retracement. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be back at these highs after a brief message from the sponsors. Now, with that being said, right, housekeeping, right, where's my manners? Go ahead and head over to ChartAddictsFX.com. We're extending the deadline for registration for the last masterclass. This will be the last class that we do this year for the NASDAQ strategy. Those of you guys who are on the Zoom call, you made it. You made it through the window. You're going to get access to all the recordings from the past and all and whatnot. And everybody else is going to have to basically just sit on the outside, like that Squidward meme, the SpongeBob and Patrick, watching you guys crush it with these prop firms and these personal accounts while they're trying to figure out why NASDAQ keeps going up and then back down, but then end up going back up. So while they're stuck doing that, go ahead and head over to chartaddictsfx.com, live classes, register for the NASDAQ masterclass to learn the strategy that we use every single morning here on YouTube live and learn it for yourself. Use promo code, I have my notes here. Use promo code July 21. No, Sunday Outlook 21 or Outlook 21. Hold on. Jacob, help.
Sir, Sunday Outlook 21.
Sunday Outlook 21.
Yes,
there
sir.
it is. Perfect. And then last but not least, FX Summit 2024 in Dubai. It's going to be November 20th to the 22nd. We have an insane speaker lineup. We have Peter Tuchman, the most recognizable trader on Wall Street, Bob Elliott, Dr. Olson, the founder of Oanda. We have KuCoin, one of the number 4 largest crypto exchange in the world, as well as Binance, Kraken, which is the number 3 largest crypto exchange in the world, OKX, Gate.io, Bybit, the whole top 10 in crypto. We have Swaggy C, Raja. We're getting the whole squad together. Raja Banks, shout out to you. Shout out to Swaggy C for committing to come out to the FX Summit, and I'm looking forward to having them out there and seeing you guys come and meet everybody in person. All right, cool. Housekeeping is done. Sunday market outlooks are designed to help you get prepped for the week. 2 parts of being a trader, or 3. Number 1, you got to work on yourself. So if you're a beginner trader, you can spend some of the weekend backtesting and learning. When the markets are closed, you have that time to yourself. That is the best time when it's quiet for you to get the most learning done. With that being said, getting whoa. I might have just X'd out of YouTube. With that being said, having a reset is very important. If you're not mentally prepared, or if you're too, let's say, if you're too stressed out, distracted, busy, anything in between, it's going to affect your trading. If you have what I would like to call loops that aren't closed, so tasks that aren't done, let's say responsibilities that you're kind of putting off, cleaning your room, going to get those groceries, running that errand, sending out that email, preparing for the week, doing that thing, Sunday, Saturday is the time to do that. Anything that's still on your mind, like a open tab that you haven't closed out, and the more tabs that keep piling up, it's going to slow down the processor, which is you. Okay. Computer always works faster when you close out those tabs and have a fresh start. So you should do the same. That's how you spend your weekend. So the three parts of being a successful trader is: number one, the trader. Number two, what's happening outside of the outside of the charts, meaning like the real world. That means fundamentals, news, and data releases, because that is what drives price. There's a real world out there, people. The price chart is just reflecting what's happening in reality. And so knowing what's happening out there kind of gives you a pretty good idea of like, why is NASDAQ dropping so hard? All right. And then you can kind of piece it together. And then last but not least is technicals. Okay. So to put it in a language that most traders would understand, it's psychology, it's fundamentals, and it's technicals. But on these Sunday outlooks, we're going to focus on those three in a bit of a more straightforward way. So like, instead of saying psychology, I'm going to say, get your shit together, people. You're fucking playing like it's a warm-up round, and you're in the game. Not only are you in a game, this isn't even a this is not a preseason game, people. This is the finals every day. You just fucking act like it. That's your psychology piece for today. All right, let's go into fundamentals and technicals now. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Joe Biden stepped down as the potential, or as the candidate for the 2024 presidential election. He's endorsed Kamala Harris as vice president, which makes sense. They have $110 million sitting on the sidelines that by law can't go to anyone except for your vice president, because the incumbents are the only ones that are allowed to get that money. So they can't put that money to anybody else. Can't Newsom and all this stuff. They're about to throw 110 M's behind Kamala. See how this goes. Now, regardless of what you think about Trump, just from like a 30,000-foot view, it's pretty hard to beat somebody that got shot and is coming out with like a message of like, this is a moment of unity and this stuff. That's a tough one to beat. Let's be honest. Your record as a prosecutor in California, where you locked up damn near anybody that had a pulse, probably can't compete with that. But we'll see how that goes. Obviously, I'm not a political expert. I'm just a guy on a screen on YouTube, and you're watching. And with that being said, thank you. Make sure you drop a like while you're at it, because if you're watching this, you're getting value. Yeah, might as well support. Okay, let's go ahead and do the fundamental or the data releases for the week. It seems like a busy week, but flash manufacturing and things like that, if you're trading certain commodities or certain precious metals, or you're trading like stocks, like development stocks, or let's say construction stocks, this stuff matters to you. But for me, I just look at this as kind of what are they called? A leading indicator for consumer pricing. If manufacturers are slowing down, that means that there's not that much demand. Like they already have enough stuff, and it kind of looks like they see things slowing down. Manufacturers never want to be out of stuff, because the second they have a project, they want to be able to load it up. And if they're not stockpiling anymore, it means that things are genuinely slowing down. So typically it's a leading indicator 2-3 months to the consumer demand and consumer pricing. So if manufacturers and producers are paying more, 2-3 months later, guess where that cost is going to end up getting passed to? You think the company is going to take the hit? You think the corporation is going to take that hit for the increased cost? No. They're going to pass it on to us, the suckers, right? That's how we get inflation. And we're going to pay it. That's how we get inflation. All right. Anyways, so pretty slow week in the first 2 days. Then we have advanced GDP. GDP is the hottest topic. The three kind of pillars of fundamentals is employment, GDP. Third one could be inflation. It's up for grabs. right? I would say inflation, I would say consumer spending, but those kind of get wrapped into the GDP. So this is one of the most important measures, quarter over quarter. GDP is released in three parts. First is the advance, which is the early estimate. Oh, sorry, you have preliminary, which is like an early estimate. Then as more data comes in, you're getting a bunch of input from all these private companies that have data, the big banks who are submitting their consumer data. Then you get the second release, which is the advanced GDP. And then you have the final GDP number, which is released about 85 days after the close of the quarter. So this is for Q2, which means April, May, and June. How do we do? Did people go travel? Did we not go travel? You guys can see the last print came out way lower than expected. Not good. This one is expecting a 1.9% print. At first, they were expecting a 3% print. And it just got revised down to 1.9, which is really good. This could actually be exactly what we need for the rally, because when the market is expecting a big, successful GDP print and it's just buying, 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 and then the adults step in the room and they're like, nope, not happening. And they're like, oh, that's when we get this big retracement here on NASDAQ. So now that they've revised it down, this is the game of markets, by the way. All corporations, when they're about to release their earnings, if you want to have a positive, like if you want to buy your stock, you want it to crash. And so you'll kind of do the numbers that way so you can buy up your stock for the low. If you want your stock to go up like a sane person, what you'll do is you'll revise all your estimates down. Like, dude, I think we're gonna shit the bed this month. Like, I don't think we're gonna do well at all. And the market starts to kind of sell your stock a little bit, and then boom, you come out with a mid-ass release, like your earnings calls. But because the expectation was dirt low, people kind of give you the benefit of the doubt. It's like people said that Joe Biden was going to drool on himself and he can't string a single sentence at the State of the Union. And then he like read off the prompter for an hour and 10 minutes. And they're like, dude, he strung together a sentence. And like because the bar was so low, it kind of made it seem like he did something. So that's kind of the exact same thing with how stocks work. And I think the GDP print being revised down is great because the market has a chance to sell off early. And then once it gets released and everyone's like, oh shit, okay, we're not in a recession. It's still positive. It's not at 3% like we would like, but a 2% GDP print is about as good as we can hope for right now with literally everything going wrong. Like, guys, people, everything is going wrong. We spent way too much money overseas that we did not have. We have the government costs of basically subsidizing Medicare, healthcare, Medicaid, everything in between. This is that we need to grow at least 3% to get out of this inflation crunch, to be able to sustain this employment number that we have right now, which is historically pretty good. But we need a slam dunk. And my prediction was that AI is going to be that savior, basically come in and increase productivity in all these companies by 10, 100x, 1,000x. Maybe they start using ChatGPT to make all the employees more productive and everyone can work a little bit less, but do 10 times or 100 times more. No, dog pictures on Dolly. That's what we got. You can make 3-second animated videos by speech to text. That's what we have for $110 billion of R&D. That's what we got. And so, yeah, AI not going to come in for the save this time around. Okay. The AI in the short term will not be what drives this cycle higher. Common sense and these companies releasing very specific earnings calls, and then 2-3 weeks later, after all these earnings calls, we start to recover like normal. That's what I think the future looks like in the short term. Okay. And then we have the G20 meetings sketch. It's in Brazil. Can't trust it. And then core PCE. Let's go. Let's go to the charts and let's call it a day. I'm not going to start with NASDAQ. We've already seen the retracement. We're in a bit of a bounce here, but let's go to Bitcoin. Boy, was I off. All right. Everything was going great. We had the double top. We had the perfect price that we expected at the Bitcoin halving, the bounce, the fake, this little fake, and then back up. We had the fake below and break back above. And then we broke under. And now it seems like we're coming back up to retest. So my prediction was 50K, 45, and then 40. It never hit below 53. Now, do I think that this is the rally that everyone's expecting? No, people. I've been in crypto long enough to know just because it rallies for a few days does not mean this thing is ready to recover. A lot of the Chart Addicts members might be asking me a very important question. Roy, isn't this a duck, duck, goose? And I would have to tell you guys, by definition, no. It was almost. So we had duck, and then we had goose. But then you realize, wait a second. Here's the low. That's a lower low. That's a high. That's a lower high. Oh shit. That's a lower high. That's a lower low. That's three. Okay, so believe it or not, we are in a down channel. And so just like most down channels, unless you're a baby pips trader, this is what they see. Okay? That's why y'all got to stop spending money on them goofy course. Hit the masterclass link in the description, get your life right, because this is unacceptable. No. This is what will typically happen. I'll give you guys this one for free. Oh my God, the baby pips is working. Dude, stack up more. Retest. And then we have a continuation. By definition, lower highs and lower lows means that sellers are in control. Now, higher time frame buyers, basically the trend is still bullish. So we still have this higher time frame trend intact. And just like any higher time frame trend, we're going to have periods of retracement, people. We can't just move in one direction all the time. So we'll have a bullish run, then we'll have a bit of a flag retracement, bullish run, these little mini retracements, and then bullish run, potential retracement for a continuation. I think in order to have a healthy market going forward, this thing cannot skyrocket because it will cause so much money to flood in a short amount of time. I'm talking about just spot people buying crypto, not derivatives, options, futures, swaps, which using margin and leverage creates a way bigger reaction. Just off of the spot trading alone, if this thing starts to break up, we're going to have a lot of people chasing. We're going to have a lot of hype. We're going to have a lot of people who aren't really making money on stocks, or maybe their tech stocks aren't doing too hot. They're going to be piling into cryptos, thinking that this is going to be the continuation. And that's typically when you have institutions selling off to compensate for the losses that they're experiencing in other areas. So long story short, I don't believe that this is the recovery that everyone thinks it is. I think we're going to range for a little bit, and I do think we end up going lower before that November bull run that we've been calling for. Okay? That's a freebie for you guys. Euro USD loading up. USD JPY, come on. Members, I would sell my kidney at this point for the strategy. Okay? The price is going up. That's all I'm going to say. UJ, higher time frame, 4 hour. Model 1, just clean and crisp, no questions asked, perfect rejection, body closure above the 80. People, are we speaking the same language? Okay, so just like I said last week, retest of the 786 is going to be that re-entry opportunity, lower time frame, body, wick, line it up, right? Multiple confluence. You guys remember that whole spiel earlier? Retest, take it up to the 50. If we break the 50, which is the top of this range, we have a continuation. If we can't break the 50, it just ranges here. It's going to swoop down for that model too. If you have no idea what I just said, hit like and subscribe. Show up every day and you might learn a thing or two, or just hit the link in the description. Register for the NASDAQ masterclass. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two there. I don't know. So super secret magnet indicator, can't beat it, can't touch it. Gold, finished, done, complete, finito. Do you guys see this? Are we looking at the same thing, or am I tripping or am I bugging? Did we really call out the perfect price entry? The retest, the retest, the first magnet hit, slapped, rejected. Thank you for being considerate. I'm talking to gold here, for just turning around right at the magnet. And then again, hits the magnet, got a little too excited. Relax. Right? Relax. Let's go ahead and tone it down. And then obviously now we're in that bigger retracement. What happened the first time we hit the magnet, people? Hit the magnet, came all the way back to the original entry, the lowest point in the range. Magnet hit again. We have a low here and we have a low here. If the market continues to create support, this is going to be that new launch pad. I don't trust gold as far as I can throw it, and I don't know how far I can throw gold. Never really tried. This retracement, a lot more likely body to wick, Go ahead and remove that super secret fib level. Did I really delete? No, it's right here. That's ugly. Let's go wick to wick. Okay. 27 or 2378. Okay, so I think members, I'm going to be covering this. If you guys have taken the NASDAQ class, we're doing a 2.0 version. I'm going to be covering this. The 61 false flag, right? Oh, I have baby pips traders, break and retest, sweep. Model 2 on the shorter time frames, quick entry. Where is the price going? Why is it always moving around and doing all this stuff? In case you're asking, because it's going to that higher time frame zone. It's running. It's chasing it. The magnet. Always. Just a matter of time, people. Just a matter of time. That one's for your notes. Let's do NASDAQ and then call it a day. What the hell is going on here with the yen basket? Okay, we had that drop. What type of Picasso? What in the Vincent Van Gogh is happening on this chart? Boom. That was for some of the liberals on the call. You guys appreciate some of the. We'll do some art history references. Nope. No. Nobody. Nobody want to react to the Basquiat reference? Nothing. No love. Okay. Anyways, Roy, can we take a quick look at the peso and the USD? Steve, that's crazy. I'm going to Tulum in 2 weeks before we shut down this 1,500 person event in Colombia. And I'll basically right on time check out the currency and see if I can swap out some now before I head over, get a better rate for it. By the way, all right, first off, Viva Mexico. Love all the Mexicans on the call. Y'all already know what a deal is. Mad love. Why do I always get finessed when I go out there? I go to the airport, it's 17 to 1 peso to dollar. I go to the private stores, they're like, oh, we do a 22 to 1 exchange rate. Doesn't seem like a big deal when you had a couple of tequila shots, right? Then you do the math, right? That's the difference between $100 meal and $150. What just happened here? What did I just do? Oh, Roy, you should go with somebody native so they can't finesse you. Guys, that's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out why it's happening in the first place. Two-step, you need to call a meeting together and figure this out because I'm damn near look Puerto Rican and they can't keep treating me like this. All right, let's go. People, if this is your first time on the stream, trading is boring. You're either going to fall asleep here on a Sunday night or you're going to laugh your ass off or you're going to laugh at me. Either way, you got a smile on your face and I'm happy, right? So hit that like button, Sandro. I appreciate that. Only some of the finest the 886 can find catching pips. I don't know who that is, but I agree with that. I heard 886 and you're speaking my language, brother. Okay, NASDAQ. If we close above 19,655, we had about 350 point range guaranteed. Guaranteed in quotations for anybody who's quoting me on that. Nothing in trading is guaranteed. If we have a full retracement, then 19,146. Matter of fact, just so I can hit the I told you so, let me do a bet with all of you guys. If the market comes down to this price and rejects, and it has to do at least a 30-point rejection, we got to do, it's got to reject right at this price down to the decimal. You got to buy the masterclass. Can we put a 1 in the chat if we can do this bet together? If I predict this, because apparently you can't predict markets. Mark Douglas said this in a book. I read this earlier. He said you can't predict markets. Dr. Alexander Elder, he said you can't predict markets. I said Warren Buffett said you can't predict the future. Got it. Noted. Let's do a bet then. Price hits that level. We see the rejection. Y'all buy the masterclass. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to make that bet. Put a 2 if you're like, I'm a bum and I don't like bets. I probably missed this, but if Trump wins or is winning, will the index rally? I think the index will rally regardless. It really just stands. The reaction to Trump getting shot is more important now than anything else. If America shows a show of strength, unity, cohesion, and competence, which means Secret Service gets their shit together, the RNC event was a slam dunk. Honestly, it was great. Security was on point. But if we continue to show that this was a fuck up and not a structural problem, then I think we'll recover in the next 2-3 weeks. If we have a bunch of blunders, the Kamala Harris thing, we have a bunch of blunders going on. The Secret Service, his security details, something is going on with Trump where it just seems like there is a lack of competence around him. I think that we see a little bit lower. because people are kind of moving their money to the sidelines. That's why we're seeing gold rally. Well, gold's retracing now, but we see Bitcoin rallying, the dollar rallying, and gold was rallying up until a few days ago. I think people are moving their money from these risk assets like stocks and not even bonds. I think bonds are going to completely get tanked, by the way, because no one wants them as soon as they slash interest rates. Because, like, why would you want to hold a bond that's going to make you less money? The more they cut interest rates, the less your premium is, which is like the money you make on that bond every quarter, every month, or every year. And if they're just going to literally cut your paycheck every month, why the fuck would you hold that? You would just sell it off and you would go buy something probably like stocks. And so I think that's the trade-off that's going to happen here. Bitcoin's going to have another dip down. I think gold is going to continue to retrace down. And I think a lot of this money is going to end up in the stock market over the next 2-3 weeks for a massive rally. So you're welcome. Okay. The bet is the price 19,171.3. That's on the Oanda. If you're using the CFD Oanda chart. If we go to the futures chart on the CME here, what the oh, this ain't the same chart. Oh, I forgot. They don't have, you got to pay to get the real-time data. Fucking CME. That down bad LLC. Charging $5 a person just to get the real-time data without the 5-minute lag is honestly kind of pathetic, if we're just going to keep it a buck. Okay. This is not the same chart at all. The fuck is happening? Oh. First off, members, the shorter time frame trade looks way better on the E-mini futures chart. If you're using a prop firm that lines up with the CME chart here on TradingView, the retest here is a slam dunk, especially with this gap getting filled. I think we're going to get that TP1 and reversal, but from the retest of 886 to TP1, slam dunk. And then here's that lower low that I was looking for. For the bet, people, for the bet. Hold on. We'll do 19,171. Oh, same price. Decent. Good stuff. All right, so 19,171. If the market hits that level and we see a rejection, y'all got to buy the masterclass. And I'll give you a discount too if you took the bet because you're a real one. I'll say something crude. If you have kids, cover their ears. You put your balls to the wall. You put your money where your mouth is. And I respect that. Okay. Some of y'all have already taken the class. Ray, you're already going to get access to the class. Why are you voting? It's like you get a free access to the class. It's a zero risk bet. No drawdown, no stop loss, no risk at all, just only upside. Yeah, I'd take that bet too. Okay, good stuff. Make sure you drop a like on your way out. Make sure to check out the Swaggy C interview. Probably, most likely, the best video we've ever dropped on the channel. Massive, massive hit. 2 quick reminders. Check out the NASDAQ Masterclass to learn how we trade every morning here on YouTube. ChartAddictsFX.com, link in the description. And check out FXSummit2024.com, the #1 conference in the world for traders, investors, and entrepreneurs. Make sure to check us out. We'll see you guys out there in Dubai, November 20th. Big names like Swaggy C, Raja Banks. We have a few prop firms like FTMO, Top Step, Apex, Top Tier coming to speak. KuCoin, Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, Dr. Olson, founder of Oanda, head of Ray Dalio's personal investment team for over 10 years, head of FX trading at Bridgewater, the largest hedge fund in the world, Bob Elliott, most famous trader on Wall Street, Peter Tuchman. Crazy lineup. Make sure to check us out in Dubai. We want to see you out there. Happy and safe trading, everybody. Catch you tomorrow morning.